Hey everybody, Ashton here again with Gents with another fragrance review. Today we're taking a look at a release from the House of Creed, and that release is Royal Mayfair from 2015. So this Creed is one that's kind of polarizing, a lot more than most of their releases. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the presentation like usual, then jump into the fragrance itself. Alright, let's go ahead and go over the presentation for Creed Royal Mayfair. If you've seen the presentation on a Creed before, then you should pretty much know what this looks like because they all look about the same. You can see here the Creed insignia, and also on the box it gives it a textured feel all the way around. Right here on the front where it says Creed Royal Mayfair, that is a velvet texture. Then of course the name of the house and size. All over the box you will see information like this in French, giving more information on the House of Creed. There's nothing on the sides. And again, on the back, more information in French. Now when you open these up, when you buy them new, they will not come in cellophane. Just in case none of you have ever purchased a Creed before, Creeds should never come in a cellophane wrapper. If yours does, you have a fake. Alright, so it will come with this little pamphlet on the inside. It sits right underneath this flap on the top of the box. It's in 4 languages, just some information on the House of Creed, and then you get this little fold out. Okay, one other thing, your batch code is here where it says lot on the sticker. I am unsure if you can see that clearly. Yes, there. Now your batch code are the last 5 digits of this lot number. So mine is 15Y01 for this bottle. The 15 designates the year, so this was made in 2015 or bottled in 2015. Badge talk really comes into play when you're talking about Aventus. It will occasionally come up with some of the other fragrances, but Aventus is where that's really going to come up. So on the bottle here, you have velvet feel again, where it says Royal Mayfair, the same as on the box. This is the newer style of Creed bottle, so the cap snaps on, and then the atomizer looks like that. The older Creed bottles had Creed etched into the atomizer, and the atomizer also looked different. The caps didn't snap on. So that is the main difference between the bottles of the old and new. And the batch code on my bottle is actually right here. Now, Creed puts their batch codes all over the place. Sometimes you'll find them down here along the bottom. Sometimes I've seen them up here. I've seen them here, so it really just depends. They can be all over the place. You may need to look all over your bottle to find it. That is the presentation for Creed Royal Mayfair. And one last thing, I'm sure everyone knows this, Creed atomizers spray out a ton of juice. One of the best atomizers in the game. The camphorous eucalyptus note is the first thing that you pick up here. Now the fragrance is blended well, like pretty much all Creeds are, but it comes through pretty strongly at the beginning. It reminds a lot of people of Vicks Vapor Rub. There's a pine, tuberose, and also a gin note that you can pick up early on, but the eucalyptus is the main player for the first 30 to 45 minutes. It's well blended, it's just that eucalyptus has such an oomph behind it that it kind of rides over all the other notes for, again, that first half hour to 45 minutes. As this hits the dry down, there's a nice warm rose note that you can pick up, and there's cedar in the base. The thing that's going to stick with you the most is, as I've said a couple times, that eucalyptus note, and that's what turns a lot of people off from this fragrance. Every once in a while on the forums or on the Facebook group, someone will make a thread, what's your least favorite Creed scent? And it seems like every time that thread is made, Royal Mayfair is selected 40 to 50% of the time as their least favorite Creed. Now when you compare this to most of the releases from the house, like Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, Millesime Imperial, Virgin Island Water, and on, you can see why this one would come in much lower than those fragrances. All those fragrances appeal to a majority of people. They garner compliments, they're easy to wear. Royal Mayfair is more an acquired taste than almost any of Creed's fragrances. I can tell you the first time I wore this, I didn't like it. The first 5 times I wore it, still didn't like it. This was an acquired taste. It was something that over months, literally, I began to appreciate it more and more and began to view it kind of as a sophisticated scent with a little bit of a sporty edge. I like it because it doesn't really do the same thing that everything else does. Lots of fragrances, even niche ones, you can find a similar fragrance, something that shares a lot of similarities in the note breakdown or the evolution, to where you can say, oh, well, this is 60% similar or 80% similar or whatever. With Royal Mayfair, it's really Royal Mayfair and that's it. For me, this is a great office scent. It really sets you apart because it doesn't really smell like anything else out there. You can dress it up, but again, it does have a little bit of a sporty edge, if you want to call it that, and you can wear it casually as well. This is something that for me works better spring, summer, and fall. It's not really something that I would reach for in the winter. Now, just to reiterate, this is not a Creed for everyone. Lots of people are not going to like this. Lots of people that have tried this, I know for a fact, do not like this. Some people view it as herbal. Some people are completely turned off by that eucalyptus camphorous kind of opening. They find it medicinal. So a lot of people don't enjoy wearing this scent. And again, I understand. The first 10, 15 plus times I wore this, I did not like it. It was almost like I was willing myself to like it, and eventually I came around. But now I can honestly say that I do enjoy wearing it. So it's one of those things where it could be an acquired taste, or you could just hate it. So if you are thinking of picking this up, then you do need to sample, in my opinion, just to make sure that you don't waste a lot of money, because Royal Mayfair is one of the more expensive creeds. It's not one of the ones that you can easily find and pick up on the proverbial cheap, like Millesime Imperial or Green Irish Tweed. This one actually performs pretty well on me, which is good because most creeds really don't. I get about 8 hours of longevity, which is good. The projection is more in the average range. It's something that's going to sit within an arm's reach or so, and then in an hour and a half, it has started to come down to a skin scent. Now, where the longevity on this is good, it doesn't completely die. It's just your projection is kind of brought in to where the only people that are going to be smelling you are the ones that get closer to you or people that you pass by, things of that nature. All right, everybody, that's my review on Creed Royal Mayfair. Again, as far as Creed goes, this is more on the daring side. Now, I'm not saying that Creed makes a lot of daring fragrances because they really don't compared to most niche houses. It's just most Creed releases are very easy to like. They're enjoyed by a vast majority of people when you wear them. So Royal Mayfair doesn't really fit in necessarily with all those fragrances, with your Virgin Island Water, Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, Millesime Imperial, stuff like that. So this is kind of in a niche to the side where it's a little different. You know, it's a hit or miss fragrance. It's one that some people may really not like and some people may love. So sample this one if you're thinking of buying it, just to save yourself some heartache if you spend, you know, $250+ and then get the bottle and hate it. Anyway, if you have sampled this or smelled this or own this, let me know what you think about it, because this is one that took me a while to come around to. As always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.